important is Long Beach to Formula Drift? Loved it.
We're gonna party down with Turk tonight.
Oh, let's send it!
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Its slippery synthetic molecules and center-look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Motorsports で得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。Beyond the Revolution. The concept is racing.
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack.
They're absolutely shredded now.
That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium
A lot of performance
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high-ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance ignition coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance ignition coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor of the Formula Drift Prospect class.
Welcome out to Road Atlanta. This is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Set it! Here we go. Yo, let's go. Now he's looking strong up front. Boom! Oh boy! Guess what? Old Captain Clutch Kick is back. How awesome is this? Banging doors, getting aggressive. Wow, Christoph making his presence felt. Big initiation there for Frederick Osbo. That was proper execution. Whoa, are you kidding me? Look at that.
Oswald starts to walk him.
James Dean opened the window of opportunity here for Frederick Osbo. Oh, James Dean gets the win. That was awesome. The sun is setting, the lights are coming on, and it is Party Town Thursday. That's right, we are here at Road Atlanta. We've been coming here for 21 years, and it's where the red dirt meets the asphalt of this iconic track. You can see that little paved area, the horseshoe, the keyhole, got paved back in 2004, and here we are still abusing it, clutch kicking and taking names. Thank you so much for joining us here, round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. We had our Type S night lights last night. Napboy Automotive, the marshal says, no, you're gonna party too hard, so go across the street over there to Lanier. Joining me here in the booth this season for all the pro conversation, Mr. Jacob Gittins, as Jacob is the host of the Outer Zone podcast, so he's getting all the dirt on what's going on. And right here before we hit play and hit record on our live stream, had some words with Chris Hughes, Amy Bachschies, right? A variety of kind of I'd like to call them unsung heroes, but people behind the scenes. But Jacob, I asked you last night for the Send It video that we recorded for Atlanta, but how cool is it to be here in Atlanta and to be here in the booth, man?
Oh, it's great. I mean, Atlanta is so iconic. I mean, whenever somebody says, where should I go? Like, if you got to pick, it's Atlanta. This is where you need to go. The crowd is incredible. Just the driving is nuts. It's wild. And yeah, to match that with being able to announce it, it's incredible. It's a dream come true.
Cool, man.
Let's be honest.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for all that you do and contribute to the Formula Drift DNA of the storytelling, the camaraderie, and all that. And it's just grown over the years. So you're part of the family now and the familia. So new coming into this year, our seeded bracket. It's nothing but head-to-head, baby. No single runs. So we have our seeded bracket, and we'll find out who wins because guess what? In Long Beach, Manoa, this young buck, 16, he wins that thing overall, and that's bragging rights. It's where you get seated, where you're at. But what do you think of the format? And also, let's just not see any more rain, okay? We saw it in Long Beach, and then we kicked things off here in Atlanta. I was woken up by thunder last night at 2 a.m., but let's just keep it dry.
Yeah.
I'm cool with humidity, but let's not see moisture, right?
Yeah, I don't mind this track. If there's any track to get rain, this is going to be it, but I don't like rain. No.
Dude, Manoa and Juku Racing, this 86, Adam LZ out there in his BMW E36. But how cool is it to see this young man come over here? He's making a lot of noise at Formula Drift Japan, makes the jump across the pond. Legality-wise, the government was concerned about him coming over here. Well, guess what? He's the pride of Japan in Long Beach. He's making a name for himself. It's really cool to see. Look at that.
Yeah, it's whenever we have somebody come over from another country, we immediately go, oh, well, how do they stack up? I think he's proven immediately, along with Connor Shanahan, that they stack up quite well.
Yeah, and interesting enough, Adam LZ was not intended to be here.
No.
He was supposed to be next to Shanahan, but unfortunately with that big bridge collapsing in Maryland, that threw a wrench in the system, or not a car in Europe for him to go compete. But Shanahan's going to rejoin us in a couple weeks in Orlando. But new seating format, break it down for us, Jacob.
Yeah, all start to finish battles. That's it. That's all we're looking at. And yeah, that seating bracket now sets you up to go into the top 32. So if you win one of these, you're going to be in the show tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah, Saturday.
But where you place in that is based on how you do in this little mini bracket.
Yep. Yeah. Again, the sun is setting. We've seen rain earlier today. And again, this is all about dictating where you go and who you go against. And guess what? Vaughn Gittin Jr., winner last year. He wasn't at round one. Vaughn is doing 2 rounds this year. He said he's doing Atlanta and Irwindale. Nice. He's the boss. He can do whatever he wants. Give me the keys, right? But here he is in the seating bracket. You can see Diego Higa. Also, Ben Hobson. He makes his debut. He makes the jump. He wins the championship of the Pro Spec last year. Makes the jump. RTR throws him the keys as Chelsea bids adieu. He's on the sideline watching. Our not defending champion, let's just call it 2023 champion. He leaves the Pennzoil Mustang to him. He throws a little pink on it because that's his style, but Long Beach was wet and wild, and it was all a James Dean exposition in my eyes because he had an uphill battle. He was, again, James Taylor Dean, fire and rain. But I'll tell you what, Odie Bakshi's, he's one to watch this season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Odie is come so, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Still fighting for that championship. Second last year, currently ranked 3rd overall right now after the first round.
Yep.
The way he's been practicing, the way he's been driving, it's not going to be long before we see him win that championship. And then his compadre, Simon Olsen, also throwing down, looking great, coming in 2nd. So nice little fun battle going on in field. We saw it kind of all year last year as well. Sometimes Simon would do better, sometimes Odie would do better.
Yep.
In this case, Simon takes that. 2nd overall, 4th last year. Another driver that's fighting for that championship.
I wish you knew the lateral of compadre in Norwegian. Somebody go ahead and DM us. What is a compadre in Norwegian? But again, James the Machine Dean. His parents are here. I haven't seen his mom and dad in ages. Love them so much. It's great to see them. They stick out like a sore thumb because they're all just the tallest buildings on the skyline. But what a crazy emotional event. He gets his win in the RTR Mustang, the only right-hand drive 2023 Ford Mustang in the drifting world. Simon Olsen, I mean, I love it can be anybody's game, and the variable is the weather. And we love a good story, man, right? Just as the story unfolds from fires, watch this. I mean, this is how his week began of Long Beach. This is media day. He's out there. They're excited. New car. It was a new car because you remember he broke his collarbone. He slapped the base big time against the wall in Irwindale. Well, the RTR team built him a new car. Prepped, perfect, exactly what he needed. Perfect seat, all that. Goes up in flames, but then he fights back for Ireland. He fights back for RTR, and that's how it stands. We're only one round in, and you know, are you thinking championship? What are you looking at? What are you looking at there?
Gucci. I mean,
the Goosh. The Goosh is loose.
The Goosh is loose. I mean, we all know he's got it. He struggled over the last couple of years. Back with Gretty, back in a car he loves. 2J. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
RCP, Nick Novak, you know, he jumped off Jerry Yang Racing. They're right down the road here. Manoa, Matt Fieldreitzer. It could be anybody's game.
Yeah.
And I think what Atlanta has, I mean, there's Forsberg. I was just going to bring up Gucci and Forsberg. They're the OGs. They're the only two drivers, outside of Vaughn Gittin Jr., but obviously took that season off and on, all that, but every round of Formula Drift since 2004. So, you know, Dylan Hughes, you know, he liked to see where he's at. Castro kind of changed things up this year. Dean Carney, he has chosen to only do the West Coast events this year.
Yeah.
So that's something that needs to be noted here. Stuckey, Hull, Robbins, Adam LZ, like I said, Shanahan will rejoin us in Orlando. Adam LZ is here in the building. He's driving the Jift HQ BMW E36, so excited to see him here. But I mean, what do you think? If you're a betting man, which I feel like you are, because you worked in a kitchen, you worked out of the serving cups. I feel like you got a dark seat in there. Like, all right, $5.
Oh man, it's so tough. I mean, I would really like to. I was like an underdog story. I'd always like something to come up that would be absolutely wild. I think it would be really neat to see a Hiro Manoa come in and take a win on that. I think the odds on that would be pretty nice. And if you do want to place your bets, check out that QR code. Boom. Scan, sign up, get them in there. Super curious.
You can only tell the future by looking at the past.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is Forsberg's got a new livery. He's got a new look this season. Nate Hamilton is spotting for him this weekend. That's really cool. So super excited for Nate. And look at him, starting him young. Hey, get off your phones, guys. You and your pink shirts. Look, see, the baby wants to listen. Get off your phones. Oh, they're placing their bets.
Okay.
They're placing their bets. What's the baby think? What's the baby think? Ask the baby. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Judging, watching. Yeah, you, bro. All right. Well, guess what? When we come back, we're about to see, again, our first battle of our seeding brackets. Actually, we'll see what happens. But Diego Higa gets a bye in the first seeding bracket, so he's in it to win it. Don't go anywhere. The party continues here. Round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here at the iconic Road Atlanta.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best to race.
The star is Frederick Osbo.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute.
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
What's up, everybody? We're here at Forsberg Racing. Today, we're getting things ready for Formula Drift Long Beach, so let's get under the hood. Definitely helps to have a shop to do all these modifications. Fully committed to the VR38 twin turbo, making 1,000 to the ground now, so it's about 1,200 at the crank. Car's been fantastic for the past 2 years.
There it is, a new series. We go under the hood, brought to you by BC Racing. A little secret sauce of what's going on there. It might be Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't know. I love that stuff. I mean, put a nipple. Well, I'm referencing our podcast where I chugged it. That's all. And also Chick-fil-A, you know, here in Atlanta, right? Hey, yo, look at these handlebars down here.
Brooks Church.
Oh, Brooksy.
Team Rowdy's in the building.
Rowdy, what are you, dude? I need signs. I need funometers. I need mustachometers.
Yeah, we need signs, boys.
Right?
Get the paper out. Get the markers. Let's go.
Dude, I put a sticker on your kid's headphones and he takes them off. He breaks them. That's how much he hates my sticker. I get it. Well, that's fair. That's fine. No, it's cool. Last time I gave you a sticker there, Brooks. It's all good. Well, it's all good. Well, right now we're navigating the bracket because, like we said, Mike Power is unfortunately not here, and Connor Shanahan, they're on the left-hand side. Diego Higa, he does not have to run his run. So actually what we're going to do right now is Dan Burkett, because he was scheduled to go against Mike Power, he does have to do a bye run, as opposed to Diego Higa was already slotted to not have to go against somebody, so he doesn't have to actually run his run. Just a little bit of housekeeping there. We'll put a mint on the pillow, but we're going to lay out for Dan Burkett, who's made the jump. He's originally from the PNW, Southern California, for a massive amount of years, and now him and Adam LZ are going to play host, and maybe Chelsea will open their doors. Everybody's buying ranches and tracks in Florida, man. I mean, Cletus McFarland, I'm sure he's watching right now. He's got his event going down this weekend, but shout out to Cleater. It's cool, the car culture. Everybody helps each other out.
Yeah, Florida seems to be like the next big hotbed for motorsports.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the taxes or the weather or what it is, but
that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Let's be honest here. So
yeah. Well, it's hot, man, and we're going to be there in just a couple weeks.
I know.
Can you make a convertible beanie? Can you just make it like a
headband?
Just make it a headband. You can do like summer weather, like convertible. It's a convertible beanie.
I reached out to the company. They're going to make a single ply one for me. Real.
There we go. Well, Dan Burkett, Rad Industries, GT Radial, Toyota Supra. Jacob, so now that Dan moves on, does that solidify his spot into 32?
Yeah, so anybody who wins their battle right now, we will see them in competition on Saturday. They're in that spot. All the rest of the battles after that are just where you're going to place into it.
Yeah.
So, and if you're looking at the rankings that are next to these drivers, that's based on the token draw, which we can get into a little bit later. It's a little more complicated, but here's what you need to know. These first set of battles, if you win it, we'll see you on Saturday.
And also let it be known that because this is round 2, where they land right now. So if you're locked and loaded with the top, so do the math. It's 8.
Yeah.
So we take the top. What is that?
4.
What is that?
Top 24.
24. Thank you.
Yeah.
We take top 24 based off of the previous round. It's not the standings. It's the previous round.
Yeah.
So here we go. We saw our bye run from Dan Burkett, so he moves on, and he will be going. Yep, and we're going into that. Yep, and we are going right into that. So Burkett moves on, but right now we are seeing Dmitriy Brutskiy, who is double dipping here this weekend. He is doing pro spec as well as pro, and Derek Madison. He's had one treacherous couple weeks, being stuck out in, was it Alabama or Colorado or?
Yeah, the M-Spec boys had to go pick up the trailer.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Home, and he's got a rental truck.
Yeah, it was wild. But regardless, he's going to try to make up for it right now. Derek Madison coming down the hill. That fuel lap technology's S chassis. Dmitriy Brutskiy, you can see that thing riddled with mud on the side, never settle. Well, guess what? He's never cleaning that car because he's going to get that thing dirty once again. D-Mat's coming into the horseshoe, into that outside zone, dials it in that back left corner. Dmitriy Brutskiy, you see the S Autosports on the roof. Derek Madison now coming out of the horseshoe, tight to that outside. That is just a track reference, no touch and go there. Madison is on a tear. Like I said, I feel like he's got to be making up for lost time. You know, getting the car dialed. And also, to clarify, is this the new car?
No, this is still the old car. They were still waiting on parts. This is still at the pro spec power level. So he's not even at a pro power level here. So let's break it down. You can see Derek Madison, when he initiates, there's a little bit of a flub there. We get not quite as straightened, but definitely has to push the car a little bit wider. Dmitriy Brutskiy playing it safe and holding back a little bit, seeing that correction that Derek made. Now as we get into our Eder zone and the keyhole, another major correction there from Derek Madison. Dmitriy Brutskiy does a great job, though. He understands that there's something going on with Derek, holds back a little bit, doesn't go inactive. Definitely a little bit more room for proximity, but you got to play it. Sometimes you got to play it a little safe. If you see somebody making a major mistake like that, and Derek was fighting some mechanicals, so that all needs to play into
strategy.
Yeah, it's all strategy.
Do you think he gave him a little too much line and let it go a little too far?
A little, and that's the concerning part here. So if Derek can keep the proximity, it's going to be tight for Dmitriy.
Well, he knows Brutskiy is definitely going to bring it. Again, his motto, never settle. Multiple-time champion in the Pro Spec Championship. Derek Madison going for it as well. Here comes Brutskiy, really dialed. You see the posture of that car. You can see it, again, saying never settle, but it is settled. Coming into that outside zone. 2, and then see, so Madison does kind of what Brutskiy did, taking a shallow line, but Brutskiy, a wide swing. That overhead's going to be really indicative of how far he was off of that inside clip in the horseshoe. And now coming back up the hill, Brutskiy, car's got some speed, and I'll tell you what, D-Mads, he's got to be tuned up right now with that just being a pro spec. I think he's really kind of just throwing a lot of boost at it and probably a lot of nitrous.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, hey, we got all the parts waiting for us at home, so if we bring this back, you know, with the dustpan, we'll be all right. So let's take a look here. When we get that initiation off from Dmitriy Brutskiy, holds it really well, big e-brake pull. Derek back in a little bit, clips that front inner clip from Brutskiy, but starts to stretch away as Derek has to pull a lot of angle out of the car coming up the hill. As we go through that Eder zone, you can see Derek having to hold the car back a little bit. Brutskiy was at that third hash mark there, which is very close to where Derek was. And then now we don't have an inner clip there, as you alluded to earlier, Jared. It's a little bit different. It gives you a bit more of a free flow area as we come through that section. So
take note here of Brutskiy coming. So again, like you said, the third hash mark. Watch Brutskiy's line going up to that second outside zone. I like how aggressive he is. That's good and fluid, but he kind of, no, I guess not so bad. It seemed that from that back angle, it looked like he beelined it, meaning kind of just into out, didn't have that sweep, but he got in there pretty early. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it could have filled the zone a little bit more, but I mean, once again, we're nitpicking at that point. I think all he's trying to do at this point is have a better lead run than Derek did, but Derek did have more proximity in general. So the judges are having a bit of a tough time with this one, and they're going to
go side by side, little side by side instant replay. They want to see this airforce.com. So Sopa there on the line. He was again throughout the entirety of the season. He'll be my pro spec announcer. So he'll be back up here in the box. It's always difficult to kind of watch both things, but like I said, did Brutskiy give himself? Did he run the line out too far?
Yeah, he definitely gave a lot of breathing room there. But what I would look for is the major mistakes that we did see from Derek in the lead there. His chase was definitely better. So, you know, we don't necessarily always go lead to lead, chase to chase anymore. It's like an overall how you did, because somebody might have had a significantly better lead, but not as good of a chase. You don't want to, you tally the points from both runs is kind of what we're looking at.
What are the major mistakes that stood out to you with Derek up front?
Derek had almost a straightening at initiation, and then through the keyhole, he had an almost straightening there as well. So 2 big mistakes there, but Brutskiy definitely did not have the proximity that he should have had. He way too cautious.
Yeah, and again, given, you take into consideration all the things, spotters up here in his ear, telling him what's going on. So up next, you can see Kyle Mohan. He is on the start line. Once we get a verdict here, we should run them back. You can see Matt Sopa waiting to give the verdict. And as far as rules, we adhere to no one more times in seating in Pro Spec. Same rules apply this year, just for the fans?
Yeah. So we're gonna get a decision out of this right now. And
here we go. Slide him left for Madison, right for Brutskiy. Brutskiy gets 1 vote and 2 votes. So Brutskiy, it is unanimous. Brutskiy gets the win. So as you pointed out, Jacob, those mistakes there. I still think that Brutskiy gave him, just call it what it is, a little too much respect. Gave himself maybe too much room, but overall, could see the judges conversing with Ryan Sage and what's.
Yeah, they're going to go back and forth. Like, I mean, I think with any of these decisions, especially, you know, we talked about it last round, we threw out 14 pages of the rule book.
Yeah.
Want to make sure that everybody is understanding what's going on and we're more or less all on the same page with these calls. So it's, yeah, I mean, that's how I read it.
Yep.
Is the mistakes that Derek made caused Dmitriy to be further back in the chase. You see those problems, you're going to give a guy some room. Plus, Derek had to stood up before they went to the line.
Yep.
You're going to keep an eye out, so.
All right, so the E-Flex Fuel, renewable lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Mazda RX-8. He's on those Vitor tires. Talking about Kyle Mohan, this is a buy run. And again, he does need to complete this because he was scheduled and slotted to compete against Connor Shanahan, but Shanahan is competing in the Drift Masters Series across the pond. So I know he's having one heck of a time over there.
Kyle actually had a very good practice. I don't know what has changed, but he's getting way more aggressive with the throttle. He's not coming off it as much, and like I'm very curious to see how this bracket plays out today with it. So.
All right, so talking about our bracket, our seating bracket, this dictates where you're going to land in 32. That bears repeating, just giving some really formality to what's going on here. Here we are Thursday. Pro, we will not see until Saturday. Tomorrow, Friday, is all about the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. But, you know, this is, again, dictating who you're going to go against.
Yeah. So now we'll be moving on to, I mean, we're already on to the, you know, the second set of battles here. I mean,
let's turn them and burn them, baby.
Move through it, yeah.
Yep, so Sopa, Yule on the headset up here in the tower. He's getting him in the burnout box. So Chris Yule, who was a judge last year, has now jumped over. Shout out to P2, Pat Gentili. He's at home, just kicking it. And look at this guy. Oh, is that R2? That's T2, R2. Rudy Hansen there on the right, going against Jeff Jones. Again, one of the most fun-loving dudes out here. His documentation of his trips are hysterical. All right, here we go. Evil Auto Works. He's talking about giving out one of those Prisma steering wheels, so be sure to check him out. Jeff Jones. Rudy Hansen comes in ripping down the hill, but overcooks it. You can see him straightening now, trying to compromise to get that grip. And look at, I mean, Jeff Jones, that big drift energy coming to us from Southern California, right down the freeway from myself. And Rudy Hansen from Pocatello, Idaho. Those guys have a good time as well. So there we have it. So Rudy Hansen, Jeff Jones, let's have it.
Yeah. The biggest takeaway that I saw from this, especially looking at Rudy's side of the run, is transitions are a fraction too late, but they manifest and get very big because of that. So watch here, you can see Jeff gets on throttle, Rudy's a little bit late, and you see it. Jeff transitions, Rudy's a little late, and you can see it. That's all it takes, a split second, and you can see the repercussions of it. But Jeff Jones out in the lead, doing a great job here. Look at, I'm almost all the way onto that first hash mark. Fills that whole outside zone that comes there. We don't have that touch and go in there anymore. They can take a midline. The judges talked about it in the driver's meeting. They want a midline through that section. And the goal is to allow the follow driver to be in closer. When they had that inner clip, that chase driver was kind of caught in the smoke.
Get him pinched out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They had to get caught behind the wheel. Whereas now with the midline, they can really tuck in. And if you time it right, it'll look real pretty. We're going to see some amazing transitions.
Oh, dude, when we start whittling down to, I mean, 32 tomorrow's going to, or Saturday.
Yeah.
I keep doing that. We both
I know,
keep doing that. And Rudy seemed a bit scrambled. You know, it seemed a little bit chaotic. Jeff, yeah, exactly. And Jeff he has so much side bite. He was ripping through the course, but with an amazing degree of angle. Here we go, Rudy Hansen. See if he's more comfortable with that fresh air. And yes, he is. Goes past that inside clip. Team Hansen coming up the hill. Now into that outside zone, the rumble strip. Ooh, Rudy Hansen gets short sheeted. He is quite on the inside. That does set him up properly for that inside clip. But that's not exactly where you want to be. Trying to give him the old voodoo there with that side window. Yeah. So Jeff, I think this might be very similar to that of Madison, right? So throwing off what Brutskiy did in the chase because of Rudy. He was on pace. Jeff was with him, but the keyhole, that really shook things up.
I do like this initiation from Rudy. I like the big swing out to get the car to hold that so you're not e-braking the whole time. Jeff playing a little bit hesitant, starts to push up here, and very straight there from Rudy, and it almost pulls in too early. So the car is biting in a little bit too hard. He doesn't get the car to whip out, and because of that, Jeff trying to follow the correct line does get gapped because of that. So to have a good, chase, you need to have a good lead. Rudy cut a lot of corners in his lead run, and that did make it look like Jeff wasn't chasing as actively as he could have. So you can see there, Rudy did not throw a ton of angle through that section. Need to carry more speed up the hill and just entered into the keyhole far, far too early. So because of that, Jeff, trying to follow the correct line, gets caught up in the smoke behind it. And I mean, in my opinion, that's Rudy just made a bunch of mistakes out front. He seemed nervous, seemed overly excited. And that car almost looked crooked going up the hill there for a second. So I don't know if maybe there was something else going on, because it was almost crab walking at the top part.
All right, so there we are with 2 complete poles with Jeff Jones and Rudy Hansen. You can see the Type S lights underneath. Mandatory. Slide them left for Jones or right for Rudy Hansen. It looks like Jeff Jones gets the win, and it is unanimous. The Evo AutoWorks Nissan 370Z advances on. Again, this is all about dictating what's going on for tomorrow. So, unfortunately, Rudy Hansen is out for Saturday's competition. That's very unfortunate.
Still be in the pits. I mean, if you're watching, you're coming down, go down to the pits, check it out. They got a ton of cool merch there. So, cool team, great vibes.
Yeah, and that's the first. No, excuse me, Madison will be down there as well. So crazy turn events. Look at this. Look at these 2 young bucks. I say young, but 30 and 35, I guess, young, respectively. Ben Hobson, a Formula Drift Pro rookie. Ryan Litteral, the Sunoco vehicle. And there we go. We're right there. Here we go. Ben Hobson in that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. All right, let's see what we got here. The Collab vehicle, the Collab built engine, the RB Army, and Ben Hobson, he's very familiar with the Ford Mustang, comes in at a second outside zone. Could be a little bit deeper here, but he knows this track. He's drifted here multiple times between Pro Spec and Pro Am. So Hobson dialing in. Seems very expedited. Seemed like it was just kind of similar to that of Hansen, but out front. And it's great to see Litteral back on the track. He's had some issues here and there. Yeah,
I love how aggressive Litteral is in the chase in the beginning. He's right on his bumper. That RB is keeping up with that Ford Mustang. And as we come through here, you can see how those Mustangs slingshot. And Ryan, I mean, trying to keep up there, does a good job. Cuts a bit of line there. Ben definitely could have been deeper through that zone. Ryan keeping good proximity, following the line quite well. And then Ben right here throws on the jets. You can just see how fast those Mustangs are. Ryan does a good job. I mean, it's tough. Those cars make so much grip, so much power. It's very linear. It's very different. You're driving an RB versus something that's a V8 that's got like 400 shot of nitrous in it. So cars are going to act very differently. But seeing how aggressive Ryan was on that run up, that gives me some intrigue to see what's about to happen.
Absolutely, and I think Hobson ran away with it on the horseshoe, but Litteral was definitely full court press. Here we go, across the nose of that Ford Mustang goes that S15, the Sunoco vehicle. The 3 spokes go round, now past that inside clip, now coming up the hill. Look at that, talk about power, and Litteral just runs away with it into that second outside zone. Ben Hobson, he needs to get aggressive here. Ben Hobson on the outside looking in. Let's check that different angle. You can see now both these guys fighting to get in their first 32 of the year.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And I'll tell you what went wrong from that inside clip to set the first outside zone for Hobson in that chase position?
I think it could almost go as far back as the initiation. Ryan Litteral is he's one of our style boys.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, him, Forrest Wang, they're drivers that are known for big angle, chucking the car out there. If you ever see those guys, grid life party events, like they're backing it in any chance they can get. And I think the problems begin with Ben Hobson almost that far back. He almost looked like he was caught off guard by it. So when we flip back here to the replay, we'll be able to break it down and see what it looks like. Look at how far out he swings. And then Ben, right there, you can see the hesitation, doesn't know what to do, kind of worms the car around and just really never gets back in the fight. has to, I mean, he punches that inside clip there, straightens up through it, misses all of that outside zone. Now Ryan here goes really wide, almost too much angle. That car's got, you know, it doesn't have a ton of side bite in it. As you can see through this section, the car definitely likes to swing it around. But there was definitely a major correction there from Ryan Litteral coming out of the keyhole. But Ben, from this point on, fighting to get back into it, has to cut a lot everywhere. And look at Ryan, almost 90 degrees to the curb there as he comes up. Big left foot brake. And because he doesn't have that side bite, he's not able to push the car into it. So it's tough. You can't always dial in everything that you want in a car. And sometimes by adding more forward bite, you're going to lose some side bite.
Yeah, that's, you know, again, both these guys fighting to get the 32. A lot of eyeballs on Ben Hobson. You know, he's from this area. He's been around this track for quite some time between, you know, Road Atlanta, Lanier. He knows a Mustang. Second round of this competition, he took a big hit in Long Beach, gets the car back together. Has a great attitude. His pops is here. All those things considered, but Ryan Litteral would love to get in his way, and it looks like he does. Ryan Litteral in the Sunoco collab. RB Army is in 32. Hobson, unfortunately, is knocked out. So that is a big blow to the RTR camp. But so we're going to sit and dwell on that and gather our thoughts as we continue the party here. But we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. And check out these commercials here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. The Type S lights are on, and it's lit.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gear. Slippery synthetic molecules and center-look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。ビヨンド・ザ・レボリューション。ザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング。
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack.
They're absolutely shredded now.
That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium
A lot of performance
to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high-ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance Ignition Coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod Coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod Coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance Ignition Coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor of the Formula Drift Pro Spec class.
All right, well, like I said, the sun is almost completely down here. Beautiful backdrop. Love this track. #1 in my heart. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. We are here in the K&N seating bracket. K&N, the official performance air filter of Formula Drift. Did you know K&N makes home filters?
Really? Did not know that.
Yeah, they make home filters. They make cabin filters. They make oil filters. So, yeah. All right, again, Federico Sceriffo, a.k.a. Fiorella, or the vehicle's Fiorella. He branded it Wetlanta, not Hotlanta, in one of his posts. And then Joao Barion, would love to see him put it together. You know, he's a busy man. He's traveling from Brazil, just got married. Like, he's a busy guy. And Federico, actually, I believe he resides here in Atlanta now. So,
I think so, yeah.
He's a busy guy as well. So here we go. Let's see him. Federico Sceriffo will be, Joao Barion will be leading as Federico. And the Ferrari 599 GTB is coming down the hill. There we go. As far as Joao, you can see Federico. Look at Joao. That car looks really sucked to the ground right now. Looking like a vacuum as Fetty comes to that second outside zone. He dabbles with it. Fetty takes that really short line. Going into that inside clip. Oh, and oh man. Okay, so unfortunately Fetty flopped on the, oh man. That was not ideal for Federico, and Joao looking probably the most dialed I've seen him in a little bit.
It's been, it's definitely starting to come together for Joao Barion. So initiation very early there, almost at the 3-cone, as we see them come through that first inside clip. And Joao Barion, I mean, I would have liked to have seen more angle coming up the hill, scrubbing off. You can see him start to light the tires off there again. Could have been deeper through that section, got it a little bit late. And then Federico Sceriffo is doing great, but gets caught up as they come out of the keyhole, and then very difficult to get the speed back going again. So, you know, I mean, even in the beginning parts of that chase, Fede looked like he had everything together. It was just that one mistake coming out of the keyhole, but it's all it takes here. I mean, you go off track here. It's the kitty litter, it's the grass, the rumble strips. There's no, I mean, the walls aren't usually an issue, but it's not.
They have been.
Oh yeah, they
have been. Ask Justin Pollock. I remember he went hard on one wall, and years ago, you know, shout out to Andy Yanni, lost a tire, went to the kitty litter. I mean, you've seen anything can happen, usually does.
Yeah, so. Kyle Mohan's taking a hit there. Matt Fields taking a hit there. Yeah. That wall's, I mean, you don't think it's that bad. You come up there, the tires are hot, you don't have a lot of tread left, and then just, that's it.
All right, so Tractor getting a lot of track time here today, and you can see just the gravel and blowing it off the course here. This is how things are whittling down. Started with the log of 15 drivers and whittle it down to what's going to be a toothpick and find out who wins our seeding bracket. There we are. Hey guys, get off your phone. Watch, pay attention. Yeah, you. Come on. You guys, are you not entertained? Okay. What's up? It's all good. Okay. What are you watching a live stream? I mean, it's here in person. You don't need to watch a live stream. Oh, watching basketball or something.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Hockey.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
yeah, watch the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Who's gonna win it? Who's gonna win it?
Ah, man, I think my money's on. I can't remember who I.
Carolina.
I mean, I kind of want Boston to win because I knocked the Leafs out. So, like, if we're gonna lose, I want to win to the champion.
Yeah. Yeah. There are a couple Canadian teams.
Yeah, a couple left. I mean,
the Habs.
I don't like Boston. No, Habs didn't even.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. Let's moving on. Here we go. Are there any Italian hockey teams? Well, he's about to go whole 5 here. Here we go as Federico Sceriffo goes and drops down, and now he really needs to make up for that going off course, doing some landscaping here, exiting the keyhole. But Joao Barion, he is twisting the screws on the all-Italian machine. You got the Brazilian behind the wheel of the American weapon. And Joao Barion brings the fire literally as he goes across that last inside clip. Joao Barion, and unfortunately Federico had that massive mistake in that chase run.
Yeah, so Federico with a bit more of a straight line approach, initiating between the 3 and the 2 cone. Does a good job through that inside zone, getting out real wide, transitioning kind of late to get up the hill, which can help get a lot of speed and carry it up there. Does a really good job here in the first part of that outside zone, but could have been deeper through the rest of it. Good job through the inside clip, but Joao Barion in the chase doing a phenomenal job, just keeping things close, not super close as I say that. Dives in there as they come across the line and going back up the hill. Joao Barion looks like a new driver.
Yeah, I don't know what his settings or mindset is exactly coming here, but seems like he is dialed right now. So there it is. Joao Barion unanimously gets the win. Unfortunately for Fiorella, he's going to have to assess that mistake he made. Hopefully we'll see him in Orlando. the Ferrari, aka Fiorella. He's got to be a little frustrated here. Just a glitch there in the system, and goes into the grass. But one more battle of our seeding bracket, top 16, as we are gonna see two legends. Absolutely, I gotta just say it. Two-time Formula Drift champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr., winner here last year, had the perfect event, got the P1, and then got the win. And then the Drift Wizard, Andy Hateley, he's having so much fun. And, you know, he overall last year in the Pro Spec Championship, here he is making the jump from Pro Spec to Pro, as Hateley second overall last season. TJ giving a round of applause there. Vaughn, look at the staggered start. He's gonna give himself a run up. Does he feel like he's down in power compared to Hateley? Maybe a little bit of mind games here on the start line. I mean, hey, he's gonna play dark horse, and I say that as it is one model of the Ford Mustang. Here we go, coming into that first inside clip. Look at Vaughn slides in that inside clip. He is being aggressive, or is he? Might be a scenario, giving himself maybe 2 runs. Oh, and Hateley goes off. Hateley overshoots that second inside clip. The mind games might have worked for Vaughn Gittin Jr. as Hateley tries to finish it out. Regardless of Vaughn's entirety of his chase run here, he will have a major advantage against second overall in the Pro Spec Championship last year, the Drift Wizard. Hopefully, let's see what kind of wizardry he's got here on a second run.
Yeah, so Andy initiating almost too late there, but does get the car to angle, and Vaughn, that staggered start, starts to reel in right here. You can start to see him dive in, but then Andy has some sort of issue, washes out, loses power, breaks an axle, I'm not sure. Does get back into drift afterwards, so might have just been a temporary, might have been some sort of weird electrical, but Andy does limp it back as we see Vaughn knows exactly what just happened. Throws a little bit more angle in there, you know, throws it out for the fans. He's a showman at heart. At the end of the day, Vaughn's always going to be, yeah, he's a showman.
Yeah, of course.
Woo! Yeah. I want a hypercut of his woos over the years, like to hear them change.
Yeah, I'm getting Ryan saying our first pass of the year, you know, and it was justified. In my mind, at first glance, it was justified. Obviously, we're the commentators. The judges will dictate that. But here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is brand new livery. He's shooting for the moon. He's shooting for the galaxy. Let's see what kind of speed he's got here. Oh, look at Hateley. He's trying to get after that Ford Mustang, but he comes a little unglued here, and Vaughn Gittin Jr., the Type S lights, you can see him glowing underneath the car, and it looks like Vaughn Gittin Jr. as Andy Hateley shuts it down here, the latter portion of this run, but that side bite on that car, man. Oh, man. You know, I think Vaughn's, he's got something to prove. He'd love to be back up top. Obviously, he can't get the P1 position because here he is in the, you know, since the format has changed, but that'd be crazy if he goes back-to-back here in Atlanta.
It would be absolutely wild, and I mean, yeah, I don't even know what I would think at the time, so I'll hang tight for that to happen. But look at the sheer dominance that we see with Vaughn Gittin Jr. I mean, he's been around for so long, and you can see how aggressive he can drive. You can hear it, you can feel it if you're here. He's so hard on the throttle. He goes from 0 to 100 every single time he touches the throttle. A little bit of a brake check there, but Andy Hateley fighting something mechanical, I'm almost positive. And yeah, tough go, but
you're going against two-time champion, like you said, bit of mind games, maybe that staggered start, but I think, like you said, I think it's mechanical. I think, you know, and so Vaughn Gittin Jr. unanimously gets the win. Yeah. And talking to Hateley's spotter, he's saying it shut off going into the horseshoe. So obviously, no power, right? You know, just I feel like Back to the Future 2 with the, you know, the hoverboard there. So as we are hovering our way here, we have our grade 8 set for our seeding brackets. Again, this all dictates going into the finals. Top 32 on Saturday. Don't go anywhere. Take a short break. When we come back, we are seeing our grade 8 here in our seeding brackets. The Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift, Road to the Championship, presented by AutoZone.
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Osborne.
we really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Osborne.
And here you are. Let everybody know you are a fan of Formula Drift. Courtesy of the SpeedFit steering wheel cover, available at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. So customizable fit and hassle-free installation. Available at your local AutoZone or online at AutoZone.com. I have a carbon fiber steering wheel, otherwise I'd put one of those on.
I mean, I need a new steering wheel cover for my protege.
Yeah, you do.
I got a couple.
You got your protege. That's your
Protege.
that's your baby.
That is my baby.
I see your little, you're following your escapades in that car. Hey, Mini Eco Beast, what's up? These guys, this family right here, they drove to North Carolina to see Chelsea DeNofa's celebration. I see these guys at Nitro Cross. They drove from California. They have Mustangs. They collect Hot Wheels. This family right here is committed to the game. He has show them the tattoos. Show them the RTR. Send it on his hand. Both of them have sent it on their hand. Dude, unreal. These guys are faithful. They are full of faith. Absolutely awesome. So thank you guys for joining us here. All right, here we go. Grade 8. Diego Higa coming to us from Brazil against Dmitriy Brutskiy. So Higa, new livery, new look, JDM Supreme. Brutskiy, he's got that mud on the side. Looks like he's actually just left King of the Hammers with that thing more than being here at the drift track. But here we go, our first battle of the Great 8. This is the K&N seating bracket. Now it's all about position in the bracket and who you go against. So these guys are guaranteed into the show. Diego Higa initiates with that Speed Hunters kit, looking good. Shout out to TJ Hunt. Diego Higa transitions. Here now coming up the hill. Here goes Brutskiy into that second outside zone. Let's see how they handle it. Higa dialed. I mean, Diego Higa, it seems that he's found his secret sauce. Gosh, this course is just so much fun. The elevation changes. Diego, that's why Brutskiy has mud on his car.
Yeah.
Diego is really finding that sweet spot. You know, him in this car, it just didn't quite work out, but this year, from Long Beach to even here, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's something coming together, and if you watch Brazilian drifting, you know they're not afraid of hills. And Diego Higa looks right at home here. Good initiation, good job coming up the hill. Very smooth through here, gets into that outside zone nice and early. Leaves a little bit too early in my opinion, but front wheel on that first line coming off the inside clip. A little bit tight through that line. They can definitely run the midline, but I mean, I think the other part that I haven't even touched on yet is Brutskiy in the chase. little bit safe. Same thing, just a little bit safe there. And I know he can tandem well. I know he can door guys. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. Yeah, and you say similar to when he went against Madison. That's what you're referencing.
Yeah, just a little
again,
more
that line. I'm just saying analogous to like fishing, you know, like
Yeah.
like pull it closer, hold it closer to the chest. So Brutskiy, we'll see Diego Higa again. That Street Hunters kit looking good. The new livery, and Brutskiy, he's got his sick livery too this year. Coming up the hill. Let's see if Diego gets close in proximity. And that was tight. That was really, and there we go, talking about how good the car looks, but battle worn, look at that. Diego Higa dives in on the inside. That was really well done. The timing there, as unfortunately Diego, he tried to mimic that once again on that last transition, but I'm telling you, maybe, you know, Diego said, screw it, I'm gonna get right there, and he risked his bumper, but that second time, talking about that line.
Yeah, so a little bit of a hesitation for the initiation there from Dmitriy Brutskiy. I do like the line he's pulling through this section, pushes him out nice and wide. It's very smooth. Higa starts to pull things in as he gets comfortable, and now we start to see how close he can drive with proximity. And he almost starts to bully Brutskiy around the course here. It's like a kind of a veteran move where you start to see them push the pace a little bit. And the hard part is right there. When you do it a little bit too much, you dive in a little bit too hard and don't know what that other driver's going to do. That's when you run into that situation. And that's what happened there with Diego Higa. He got a little too pushy, and with that, you can get caught. And that's more or less what we saw there with Diego Higa. Just it's a little bit too aggressive, a little too strong in the chase, but Dmitriy Brutskiy up front, I mean, he did have a great lead run. So if it comes down to the chase, what the judges are going to have to decide is a overly aggressive or a not aggressive enough chase, the differential between these two lead runs.
Yeah, just looking at this here again, I love that move by Diego. That was like you say, a veteran move. Bullying, timing, too aggressive. You know, was Brutskiy to blame there? You know what I mean? Like on that that's it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of self-influenced or kind of, not self-deprecating. What was me? But it's self-induced is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's the only way that's going to happen is if something in the car is broken. Whereas we've got contact now. It wasn't contact in this case, but even just dipping that tire off, there might have been something that, the car that went a bit ajar.
This one should be fun. Two Southern California boys. Again, you got the LS V8 Evil Auto Works, and then Ryan Litteral, who put on one heck of a heater run against Ben Hobson, who's your local boy here. So we'll see who comes out on top. But Jones took out Hansen, and these guys are tearing, man.
Yeah, a lot of California battles going on right now in Atlanta.
Yep. All right, so here we go. So taking a look at this, it looks like Jeff Jones will lead that big drift energy, Evo Auto Works, Nissan 370Z, and then. All right, so Ryan Litteral will chase him down, that staggered start. I mean, lights everywhere, man. You can barely see it. It looks like a T-Swift concert over here. All right, Jeff Jones comes down the hill. Ryan Litteral, you can see him being aggressive from the start. This is good practice, but you want to salvage your vehicle for game day. But Jeff Jones, this would be a great momentum push for him. Obviously for Ryan Litteral, and look at that, Ryan tucked in the smoke, Jeff Jones hammering down, and Litteral tucked in to that pocket, the hot pocket, but it's smoke filled.
I love the way that Ryan is transitioning. So there's a bunch of different ways to transition in the chase, and what he's doing is kind of holding back and shooting through it. So I'll point it out here in a second, but it's really, really smart. So Jeff Jones going up there, tons of smoke, like just burning those tires off. So come through here, Jeff could have been a little bit deeper, and now we start to see it come through. Watch here, Ryan, look at just times it perfectly. Doesn't have to pull the car back, does the exact same thing through here. Doesn't have to pull the car back. It's such a smooth, elegant way to chase. It's so hard to do though. It's much easier to dive into the pocket, tap the brakes, pull the car back, dive back in. Like it's just a different technique, and that's what I love, especially about drifting, is like there's so many different ways you can do this.
Yeah, the only thing, and again, love Ryan. I'd like to see him mimic the angle a little bit more.
Right.
Seems like he's kind of given that Daigo-esque, that good proximity, but love to see him mimic that angle more. And that first clip point in the chase, he kind of straight line, kind of beelined across it. But right now, you called him a styly boy. So let's see if the styly boy shows up here right now. And I would say definitely so. Look at that massive angle there. I mean, he is parallel parking that thing into that second outside zone. Brings it in and through the horseshoe. I mean, if Ryan Litteral continues this pace, he's gonna be a showstopper here as Jeff Jones. I mean, that's great. That is two really good runs from both of these guys who would really love to be on the box here in Atlanta.
I don't think anybody can be upset no matter how this decision goes. But
right.
Check out that big swing there. Little bit of a brake tap, e-brake there, front brake tap. Comes to that inside clip, does a good job there. Jeff doing a good job keeping the car in proximity but not super tight. Ryan scrubs a lot of speed there, so could have been a bit deeper through that outer zone, and then still on the power is able to get the car rotated around. So still while driving the car forward, bringing the car around. I'm happy to see the Ryan Litteral that we got to see back in Pro 2, the Ryan Litteral that we all know can drive this way. He struggled with a bunch of mechanical issues, some crazy circumstances and situations, but now people are starting to see the Ryan Litteral that we know. And I mean, I love the guy, so I'll come out and say it. And then, yeah, Jeff Jones, I mean, veteran, doing really well. These guys have driven together quite a lot.
Yeah.
Both, so
the hot pit, right?
Yeah.
Jeff is running his hot pit events.
So there's a lot of trust.
Busy guy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Jacob, who's it going to be, left or right? Jones or Litteral? And Jones gets the win. And like you said, he's in the show.
Yeah.
That's a confidence booster for both those guys, the way they were driving. But Jeff Jones comes out on top. And look, you see Litteral even give thumbs up.
Yeah.
So, that was a great run there. Even Sopa did a little dance for him. So he's doing a TikTok video up there. It's a really weird thing that Sopa does.
Getting in on the action now too.
Joao, Barion, Vaughn, Gittin Jr. Both these guys rocking the M-Claw. One from Brazil, one from America. So originally from Annapolis, Maryland, now living in North Carolina, Concord to be exact. His shop, the RTR lab, is absolutely insane. Love the facility. Been there a couple times. Just there for the happy birthday to the Ford Mustang, the Mustang's 60th anniversary. Just a couple weeks ago out there in Charlotte. And here we go. So Corvette versus Mustang, Brazilian versus American, monster versus monster. Let's see what we got. So look at that. Joao Barion leads because of Vaughn Gittin Jr., you know, wasn't at round 1. So rightfully so. You go to the back of the line, kid. You can't sit here. All right. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., 2-time champ, going against Joao Barion. Again, car is looking really dialed. Let's see what Joao can do in front of the 2-time Formula Drift champion, 2010 and 2020. All right, the Nitto tires go round into that first clip. Transitioning now out of the smoke. Goes Vaughn Gittin Jr., Joao Barion. These guys both bobbing and weaving. Talk about that boxing match. Look at Vaughn. You can just hear him whack, whack, whack. Just whacking away at that thing like a lumberjack. Into this last inside clip. Sheesh. Yeah, did you? I mean, look at the flame shooting out of Joao's car. I mean, did you hear him just clutch kick that thing? I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, Joao, I mean, he's really coming into his own here at this event. So as they come down, he's on throttle, going down the hill, you know, initiating in 3, and then the rate to angle that he gets in that transition point, I love to see it. And I think it threw Vaughn for a bit of a loop. And I mean, Vaughn's a pro. I mean, he's a veteran he's a pro's pro, and he knows what to do in any situation and does a good job through the rest of it. But I do think this caught Vaughn a little bit off guard, the way that Joao was handling the car and how fast he was transitioning.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
Love the initiation through Vaughn as well, how much he can carry through the car. Just he knows how to drive this car better than anybody else in the world. I mean, I'd hope so. But yeah, filling that outside zone from Joao. Could have been a little bit deeper through that inside clip. Love seeing how fast that car rotates. And then right here, you can see Vaughn get back on the power, start to dart in. Knows that he can make up a lot of speed through that inside clip. As long as you don't overshoot it and dip into the red dirt, you're all right.
There we go. So let's bring him back around. Looks like Vaughn pulled beyond the start line. Might be calling a comp timeout here.
Joao was a little bit slow coming up the hill, so I wasn't sure if maybe there was something there, but.
You could see Burkett and Mohan waiting in the wings because we saw the first portion of their battle. All right, let's see what we got. Remember, Pro Spec all day tomorrow, head-to-head competition, and Pro is going down on Saturday.
I think we are getting...
Maybe there's a cone or something?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, there's just something stuck. Or maybe his lip. Let's see what we got here. Back it up? I don't know what's going on here.
Extricated cone. It's not the first time we've seen that happen.
No,
Look at the roof, though.
Yeah.
That's super neat. So Vaughn's calling a foul.
Okay, so Vaughn is calling a competition timeout. He will get towed off. I think they were looking for his tow hook, actually. So, no, under zone power? All right,
Psych.
Later.
Later, nerds.
Right, yeah, later, nerds. All right, so Vaughn Gittin Jr. heads back, calls his comp timeout. And we can see Burkett and Mohan. We'll revisit that. Diego Higa waits in the wings to see who he goes against, either Burkett or Mohan. And then right now, Jones waiting to see if it will be Joao Barion or Vaughn Gittin Jr. So this is how it's shaping up. Diego and Jones already in the mix. So like we said, the top 8 here already advance on into Saturday's main event. And the tires getting warmed up on Burkett and Mohan, that bottom left-hand corner. Finish out the second half of this battle. Fairly equally matched, if I can recall, Burkett and Mohan.
Yeah, Dan just kind of like overshot there, and Kyle was a little bit shallow through a big keyhole outside zone, which is shorter this year. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking into it. I remember, for some reason, I remember it being like forever.
What?
Like that outside zone in the keyhole just like lasting forever.
No.
Yeah,
I think that's, I think that's on par. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like you could stand here and like hold your hand out and know exactly
right.
where it is.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
the amount of years. You're like, nope.
Yeah, that's on par.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, yesteryear we used to enter on the bottom and go out the top.
Right, and then as the cars got faster.
Yeah, now it's like go to the top and come down.
Yeah.
And the flow is, I think, just way much better given, as you say, the car builds, the progression of the sport, and driving prowess. So all of it, all things considered. Here we go. So let's alternate the order here with Mohan and Burkett. So Rad Dan out front. Rad and Supra. I mean, Kyle Mohan, he needs to join the conversation. Slide in those DMs, or better yet, slide into that inside clip. Dan Burkett flying into that second outside zone. I think he knew he needed to step it up, and he is doing that, man. So, Dan Burkett. Woo! I mean, that was, if we had single run qualifying, that was
up there.
A1 steak sauce, baby. Hits you right in the jowls. That was spicy and sweet at the same time.
Yeah, he went full rocket ship on that. Look at the gap he produced there on Kyle Mohan as they come through. Big initiation. And then we start to see them push through, and then Kyle just kind of getting lost in the smoke. Now, Rad Dan could have filled that outside zone there a little bit more, just coming up the hill, but nothing too crazy. A little bit deeper on inside, on our inside clip there, but yeah, I mean, it was a great run from Rad Dan. I'm not quite sure why they called the timeout, if it was just checking on something, but it's almost like he just turned up the boost and said, all right, let's just go.
Yeah, just talking to Dan's spotter, his wife Renee, and she says the wheel was bent.
Oh, okay.
So,
so when dropping into the dirt, they.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So.
Yep.
All right. So here's our BC Racing custom coilover side by side. Go for gold. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift.
So really, what you want to watch here is the lead runs.
Yeah, watch the left screen.
Yeah. So let's see how they do. So that outside zone is kind of the differential there. I think we've actually got the wrong side-by-sides there.
Oh yeah, that's
Vaughn.
Yeah, it's Vaughn and Joao.
I mean, hey, super cool.
The cars look very familiar. It's like they're green and blue. Yeah.
Took even me a second.
Yeah, because we're on a small screen. But yeah, the cars were blue and green. So ironically, it was, or coincidentally, that's funny. All right, so let's see. We're gonna take a look side by side once again. Run it back, run it back. So we're gonna, and looks like.
That's looking better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now take a look at the lead cars so we can see the main differences there, because obviously we know the chase was definitely some points of improvement, but both of them had a good outside zone 1. Dan was a little bit deeper in outside zone 2. Kyle was a little bit deeper on the inner clip. And then as we come through, here's not really a zone. They do have to hit that inside clip. So, yeah, they both had a couple of small mistakes here and there. Chases weren't too bad. Kyle, I think Kyle's latter half was quite good, whereas Dan's first half was quite good.
Right.
So this is why I am not a judge.
Yep. Yeah, it's
reasons just like this.
Yeah, and especially like it's not fresh in your mind, so you have like a couple runs in between. So
yeah.
It's not right there, but that's why I think the side by side is a good truth serum. You know, seeing that overhead. So here we go. Slide him left for Mohan. Slide him right for Dan Burkett. Looks like Dan Burkett will get 1 vote, 2 votes. Dan Burkett gets the win. Mohan is in the show on Saturday, but placement is TBD for KMOHAN. Kyle Mohan.
How'd you do in spelling bees?
Really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I was terrible.
I was really good.
Yeah.
I was a really good speller, and everybody asked me like how I got an announcer. Did you want to do this? No. I was the kid. I was the kid that raised my hand and always read aloud in class.
Yeah, I was the improv kid and the speech kid.
Improv? What, did you do comedy acts in 5th grade?
I was like 9th grade.
Yep. So so I was not a thespian.
No.
I feel like you were a thespian.
I was in one play. I was in Grease. I played Sonny.
Okay, I don't know what that is. You were what?
The play Grease, like the movie Grease.
Oh, Grease. Oh, got it. Yeah.
That was a play for
Shamalama Ding Dong. Or
yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was Sonny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just read aloud in class, and then 7th grade, Mr. Curtis, he says, Jared, get up here. I was like, what? He says, I heard you. I said, my best friend Mike. I was like, he was talking. He's like, I only heard you. So that was maybe a little bit of foreshadowing. That's what I always say. So reading and my voice carries through. All right, so don't know what Vaughn, you know, it looked like he had no power, then he had power. We'll see what happens to Vaughn, but like you said, I think he was a little startled on how well Joao drove. So Diego Higa, our #1 qualifier in so again, by how Joao Barion was driving, did not anticipate that driving prowess from Joao, but now he's going to chase down, like I said, this 2-time champ. So don't know exactly what Vaughn called the clock timeout for. Joao overkicks it, gets into the gravel, he throws it up, grabs the machine gun, big angle there from Vaughn Jr. Oh, and he gets into the dirt now, re-enters the conversation, now exiting out of the horseshoe. And Joao Barion, he takes out I mean, this is Sloppy Joe. These guys are absolutely terrorizing this course. Oh. Joao, he overshoots it, that exit. Whew. Man, I'm exhausted. I mean, these guys absolutely motley crewed this place. Like they're staying, you know, at a hotel and just threw the TV out the window, man. These guys thrashed the place.
We'll be looking for Kentucky Bluegrass a little bit later on to replant half this field, but yeah, it's definitely got a little sloppy there. Vaughn looked like he put the car in kill mode. He was crazy fast, as you can see, by dropping possibly 2 wheels out there. Now, that is not a DQ, that is not a 0, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, incomplete. Now it's a deficit.
Yeah, it's a deficit. So they've the judges have significantly reduced the chances of incompleting. You basically just have to drive straight is kind of the best way to put it.
So yeah, I mean, you saw him overshoot that quite a bit, Joao, and like you said, that is not an incomplete, it is a deficit. And there's Maximus. He's again busy. Thank you to our track staff.
They get their steps in here, that's for sure.
Yes, they do. So on the left-hand side, Diego Higa, Rad Dan, and now Jeff Jones waits to see who he will go against.
Yeah, so either Vaughn Gittin or Joao Barion.
And in the seating brackets, if you didn't watch New Jersey, unlike in the finals, we do have a third-place consolation battle here.
Ah, okay.
Remember?
Right.
Yeah, because it's all about seating.
Right.
Yep. So taking a look at this again. Go for it.
Yeah, as you can see, just Vaughn, how deep he got out through that section, and then you can watch here with Joao how much he overshoots coming through. That gets lost in the smoke and then pushes out real wide. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously the judges, because of that delay, want to do the side-by-side to understand what's going on. And our sweeper and our I believe Matt told me these are called the buffalo blower, cleaning up that track.
Yeah, Buffalo Blower. That's a great song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I digress. I could have sworn we had a third-place battle. I apologize. No,
question myself there for a second.
Right? And I saw you buffering.
Confidence.
I did, but I could have sworn. Again, a lot went on even from Long Beach to now, but. This new format, we're learning together. Everybody hold hands. Get it.
You've had
buddy system.
20 years of doing qualifying and all that stuff. It's all.
We had dials. We had things. We had, you know, I mean, I can remember when Robbie Nishida had an open-face helmet driving a Sil Camino, which was a 180 with a truck bed.
Yeah.
And we had editors of magazines as judges in New Jersey. I mean, we've seen a lot of things over the years. But here we go. Slide him left for Joao Barion, right for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Joao Barion gets 1 vote and 2 votes. So Joao Barion, Joao gets the win over Vaughn Gittin Jr. And love to talk to judges here. Just and we have our final 4 set. It's going to be Joao Barion versus Jeff Jones. And talking to Robbie Nishida here, Joao Barion gets the victory, and it was unanimous. Robbie.
So yeah, we had to rewatch the side-by-side too, because there's a little bit of time in between the battles, but watching the lead-to-lead portion of it, Joao did a little bit of a better job.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach.
So my name is James Dean. Long Beach for me, favorite track in the world, best place to start the season. Everything was going really well for us yesterday. Felt very comfortable in the new car. And we were just wrapping up practice and I lost all power. Car went up in flames under the bonnet and basically took off. It melted the nitrous line and it just kept it going. It was fueling it. Passenger, he got himself out really quick. I turned the car off, killed the power, jumped out. Unfortunately, we suffered a lot of damage. Everything underneath the hood was absolutely destroyed. We're just working hard to get back on track.
There it is, the Nitto Moments with James Dean. Check them out on YouTube. Get all the BTS of what went on, either in the head or on the track or off the track, and just break it all down. So Nitto presents Moments, a James Dean story. Love to get another championship. Talking to him yesterday, you know, 3-time back-to-back-to-back. So let's see if he could do it. All right, so our final four is set here for our seating brackets. Up first will be Diego Higa and Dan Burkett.
Radical Daniel.
Radical Daniel. Yeah, it's good to see how dialed his car is and how the car is hooking up. It's really great to see.
Yeah. I mean, a year off is tough. I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like that.
But it's not that he hasn't been driving or busy.
No, dude's been driving probably more. He's got those little Miatas in his driveway. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost want to just go to his house so I can just go bang on those Miatas in the driveway.
Yeah. Again, like we said, a lot of transplants out there to Florida.
Yeah.
All right, Higa, Burkett, Jones, and Barion in the 4. And again, the third place position. So Diego Higa, you know, guaranteed top 2.
Yeah.
Would love to take it to the top. But the winner of this goes to the final. The winner of either side goes to the final to find out who gets overall. We saw Manoa get that victory in Long Beach alongside Adam LZ and Shanahan. And going to be pulling them here in the GT Radial Burnout box, our K&N seating bracket final 4. So, by the way, if you're here in the building, GoPro, stop by and see the brand new Hero 12 Black. Exclusive pricing here on site. Discount plus an accessory bundle worth $200. Only available here at Formula Drift. Also a daily giveaway at the GoPro booth, 7 p.m. each day. So be sure to go on by. And they showed the video for it, but the Torque Drift 2 is the official drifting game of the Formula Drift series. Head on over to torquemotorsport.io for the all latest game updates, includes partnership announcements and motorsports. Go to their YouTube channel. All right, Air Force trivia. Which U.S. Air Force aircraft has the widest wingspan? All right, Jacob, and all our fans. This is the B-52, the CV-22, the E-3, or the F-16. Do you think you know?
No, I have no idea. I have a guess.
Tin Rust. We'll see. United States Air Force, FD. Oh, there's a Drift Wizard. Look at this guy. He's got his Drift Wizard hat. Thanks for sticking around. Oh, look at that. Corgi butts drive them nuts. They got a Corgi blankets. We got the Nismo riding hat. Throwing out hearts. Drift Wizards, cowboy hats. So the big debate right now is, you know, what's going to be the country summer banger? Is it that little boozy one? Is it the Morgan Wallen
one
and Post Malone, or is it the there's another track and it's the
is it that
not the Shabuzi
Jack
one?
Daniels and I got a history.
Yeah, that one.
That one's pretty catchy.
Yeah, they're all catchy.
They're all pretty catchy.
But all right, here we go. Speaking of catchy, who's going to catch the win? Here we go. Diego Higa and Dan Burkett. Diego Higa, he's street hunting right now, street sharking from Brazil. Look at that. Woo! Two great-looking cars got chrome spinning. Into that second outside zone goes Higa. Coming through the smoke. Barely see him. I mean, they are bathing in it. Bed, Bath, and beyond. Holy cow, as Dan Burkett almost goes off course once again. Higa is just ripping. Well done by Diego Higa out front. Dan Burkett looked like he was just trying to catch up to him.
Yeah, that was a great battle. We're already seeing some incredible battles here, and we're only in the seeding bracket at this point. So Diego Higa doing a phenomenal job out in the lead. Rad Dan getting bathed in some GT smoke there, not able to see his way through, and Diego Higa able to get to that outside zone into the inside clip. Now Dan starts to reel things in. It took him the keyhole to basically get his bearings again, and then as he does, he has to kick the back end out and scrub a bit of speed so he doesn't dip it into the dirt once again and bend another wheel. So, yeah, that was, great job out front there from Higa. Dan, little bit to be desired in the chase there. So Higa is able to, if Dan puts down a decent lead there, there's definitely room for Higa to chase well. We've already seen him chase really well tonight. So I expect Higa to be back on the door unless the spotter's like, yo, chill, we got to save some for something.
All right, so and like we said, this is just all indicating where you are in our 32 bracket on Saturday. Dan Burkett, let's see if he gets rad right now, but Higa gets almost this. Oh, and Higa looks like his transition was late. He gets thrown off. So Higa, who was dialed in that lead position, now has a major mistake in the chase. Takes out that course indicator. That's not a clip, but then he goes over the wrong side of that inside clip. So with just such a great lead run for Higa, makes a massive 1-2 mistakes in that chase position.
Yeah, just being too aggressive. So this is where, it's great to be aggressive. It's cool to see him start to come into his own this way, but you have to be careful. And this is where you see it. He gets lost in the smoke, misses his transition timing. It's because of how aggressive he was coming down the hill, and then that pushes him wide through our first outside zone. Then through the second outside zone, he's got a cut. So that one mistake at initiation caused basically 3 sections of the track to kind of be thrown out the window, while Rad Dan out front sitting pretty, able to get through the track, no major, nothing where I'm like, oh my God, what a crazy lead, but I was also not really finding any major errors in it. So that aggressiveness is nice when it works. This is like an issue that we've seen for years. Chelsea D'Onofrio was like the king of it. Ryan Turk had that same thing where they just go that little bit too hard, and that's all it was.
Yep.
And that was the
beating themselves.
That was it, the small thing, and it's becomes a big issue. So our tractor out here, the wonderful track staff here at Road Atlanta Michelin Raceway.
All right, I think they're going to slide him right, unfortunately for Diego Higa, but Dan Burkett, what an ego boost, a shot in the system for Rad Dan. GT Radial, Sunex Tools, Rad Industries, Toyota Supra, Diego Higa should definitely hold his head high, #1 qualifier. And so Diego Higa gets 3rd place.
Yep.
And there's Wills, Zero Chill Wills down there. We saw him earlier in Pro Spec, hanging out watching Pro. Homeboy from Chico, California, has his own shop, built his S chassis. Great looking car, and we'll see how he fares tomorrow. Zero Chill Wills in the building. Jeff Jones, Joao Barion, other side of this Final Four bracket. Who is going against Rad Dan? Jones or Barion?
I'm very much looking forward to this. I love seeing how Barion's coming, just like he's got that momentum, he's driving well, he's putting it all together. And Jeff Jones is looking really stable.
Yep.
He's playing it smart. He's not getting overly aggressive. So we've got somebody who's on a heater. He's got all the adrenaline going.
Yep.
Somebody who's like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna do well. I'm gonna, playing it smart. So
I think they're fairly comparable.
Yes.
Again, just the attitude of the car.
Yep.
The driving prowess. That seems like it's all coagulating for him here in Atlanta. They keep this progression up, but do you think it's a benefit or a disadvantage to have a day off from tonight and then got to chill, put on ice on Friday, and then now you come back Saturday?
I do think it's tough. I've spoken to a lot of drivers about it, and they're like, man, it is like, you're here, you're interacting with fans, that's phenomenal. But that slowdown is, I mean, that's going to play with your head. It's another day to think about everything.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I know.
I would prefer
I'd want to go
back
right
to
to the
back.
battles right after that. Right? You know what I mean? Now, that being said, you pop an engine, you need to do a big service.
Yeah.
You're loving that.
Oh, yeah. Great point.
So,
Great point.
Yeah. You're praising that full day at that point.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, and the amount of time these guys can change engines, and we always kind of give the flowers to Papadakis, but it seems like every, just the evolution of what's gone on from 2004, our first ever year here, setups, displays, engine builds, progression, parts availability, the aftermarket components. There's so many different facets to all of this. So here we go. Jeff Jones will lead Joao Barion, and now transitioning into this first inside clip, Jeff Jones. And look at Joao, like you said, he cuts through that thing like a knife. I mean, the smoke, oh, buddy. Joao, you saw him initiate it, grips up right there in the horseshoe. And two very, 16, oh, that's it. That's going to be it for Joao, but we still have that second half. But I'll tell you what, I bet you he calls the comp timeout. I don't think Joao, he didn't utilize his. When he went against Vaughn, Vaughn did call his comp timeout.
Yeah, you could almost see it coming when they're coming up the hill. You can see Joao just bathed in smoke, and you can, whether there's a mechanical or not, you can tell how lost he got there. So Jeff gets on the power a little bit later, but you can see Joao already fighting through the smoke there, and then right here, you're not seeing much. And then transition super early. Jeff really nice and wide through that outside zone. Does a good job through the inside clip, and then Joao transitions super early there, and I believe shuts it down. Well, Jeff able to get through the rest of the
All right, so as we lay out and listen to that, watch the car grip up here, and then as they exit the horseshoe, it just bloop. You see it straighten out, and as they exit the horseshoe. So we are getting word that Joao will call a competition timeout. So a little bit of delay here, but we've had a good flow up until this point. See Jeff Jones there, he's gonna make his way back up the hill. Joao's gonna go to the hot pit, and these are, you can see him just beyond that burnout box up there, and just dwindles down from obviously, from tomorrow 32 and Saturday 32, and it's slowly, obviously halftime break, you get 16 teams up there. So, well, we've been talking about it, so let's check in with James Dean and the James Dean story. The Nitto Tire presents Moments on YouTube. So here we go. Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Make some noise for the Gym Nation.
Well, my name is James Dean, driver of the AutoZone Ford Mustang and Formula Drift. Three-time Formula Drift champion, and this is a sport I absolutely live for.
It's official. We've begun Formula Drift Round 1, 2024 season. Let's send it!
Long Beach for me, favorite track in the world. Got my first FD win here back in 2017, and I absolutely love it here. It's the best place to start the season. Yesterday was FD Media Day, so that's basically a day where we as drivers get to come out to the streets of Long Beach, basically blow the dust off the track and give some media rides to content creators and personalities, and it's cool to give new people an experience of Formula Drift and drifting in general. Everything was going really well for us yesterday. Felt very comfortable in the new car, and we were just wrapping up practice on the last run, and I lost all power. The car went up in flames under the bonnet and basically took off. It melted a nitrous line, and it just kept it going. It was fueling it. Passenger, he got himself out really quick. I just turned the car off, killed the power, jumped out. Unfortunately, we suffered a lot of damage. Everything underneath the hood was absolutely destroyed. It was a scary situation. Luckily, no one was hurt. We're just working hard to get back on track. car right now is at my good friend Dean Carney's workshop. It's been really, really helpful. He's basically given us the keys to work there as long as we need to. So it's almost someone there around the clock right now working on the car, building a new loom. All the plumbing had to be redone to get us back on track for Saturday, the main competition. So we're back here at Long Beach after a crazy week after our fire at Media Day. Oh my God, it was insane.
There's the machine, the three-time back-to-back-to-back champion. Look at this, look at that flambe door there. I mean, this thing caught fire so quick, and it burned really hot because it exposed a nitrous line.
The team fully rebuilt the car, worked some insane magic to get us back here. I don't know what to even, my brain is so overloaded right now with stuff.
RTR ready to rebuild, because man, that's what they do. They absolutely thrash to get the cars back out there. Here we go, our first battle.
You know, we had the fire, but like I'm ready to get back in that car and just forget about it. That happened, that's then. This is now, keep looking forward, keep pushing hard, and it's motorsport. We know the risks.
James Dean gets the win. It got a little wonky. It was a little popping and locking there as opposed to just being smooth and fluid.
Since repairing his car, we've been chasing a ghost in it. We've had an intermittent situation where the car cuts off and there's no data, no like smoking gun as to why.
Our next battle, this is James Dean versus Jonathan Hurst. Oh, and as Jonathan Hurst spins out, James Dean, if he continues on, will have a major advantage here. Oh, no! James looks exhausted. It has been mental anguish from Tuesday to today.
Going back out on that track, what's the plan now?
Honestly, just try to keep my composure. A lot of times when I'm going against some of these dudes that, you know, are up at the top of the line, I'm like, I know I can compete with them, but sometimes I'll usually overcook it, end up tapping them or something, and then I leave it in the judges' hands. And so this time I'm trying to not let that happen.
And it looks like James Dean gets the victory. There we are, James Dean, still good attitude. He's throwing the hand out the window.
I know there's a lot of hungry drivers here for that championship. People are going to be pushing hard. There's going to be fires, there's going to be controversy, but that's what makes it exciting.
Our Great 8 is upon us. Rain intermittent here and there in wet conditions. Umbrellas are out. And we are seeing James Dean come on out swinging. Let's see what Frederick Osbo does in the all wet conditions. There you go. James Dean gets the win. Our top four is set. Hody Bakshi's James Dean. You can see him just like crab walking that thing. The James Dean, good proximity. Who's going against Simon Olsen in the finals? Hody Bakshi's or James Dean? James Dean out front. James Dean is going to the finals.
Money, that's a 100-point rain ride, and I've never seen one of those in Long Beach.
From Tuesday catching on fire, and now our finals are set, and it is Simon Olsen and James Dean.
When it comes to motorsports, you know, it's like F1, rain, you gotta stop. NASCAR, gotta stop. Formula Drift, rain or shine, baby, it's playtime, that's right.
Look at the puddles. This looks like a splash zone, not a drift zone. Here goes Simon Olsen spraying it, looking like a rooster tail. One of the wettest events we've seen in years. James Dean, good angle. Simon Olsen pedaling it with the proximity. Here we go, bringing it on home into that final inside clip. And your winner here at round one, the streets of Long Beach, is James the Machine Dean.
For me personally this year, the ultimate dream is to come back swinging. We're the lead driver with RTR this year. I'm aiming for that championship. There's no doubt about it. I am aiming for that #1 spot. I have no words. Like, no, I don't think only probably my very close friends, my family, know how much this means to me. We're always working our asses off and doing whatever we can to make sure we're all at the tracks and just putting on a show for everyone that comes and supports this crazy sport that we all love. Thank you to the team, my fans, my family, the whole team that supported me, brought me back to FD. Woo! Never give up.
there's his name at the top, and I'll tell you what, like I watched that again. I choked up a little bit just watching that emotion. I mean, that it's you feel it, you know, and you can get a sense of how important that was, and that roller coaster of emotions of having this new car. It's your beauty. You know, it's a brand new car, and again, just how quickly we forget Irwindale, how that unfolded, and then bringing that emotion and, you know, getting that win after such a tumultuous week.
Yeah, people, it's really easy just to look at this as racing, but these are the lives of everybody involved. Like, this is it. This is everything they've put in. And those emotions are real. Like, we felt them.
Yeah.
You and I were getting emotional up in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing it all. Like, this is the lives of all these people. They've put everything into it. So you know, come back like a phoenix. That's why it's so crazy.
Yeah, so that's going to be a great series to follow here. Dinner Time presents Moments. But right now, update on the action. Joao Barion did not make his competition timeout. So I think that's a good approach. He's gonna, you know, like you said, he might have a bigger issue. So that day off might help him. But right now, Jeff Jones, he's got to finish out the second portion of this battle. And then the EVA Auto Works Nissan 370Z Energy Innovations Big Drift Energy. He is going to the finals against Rad Dan Burkett. So there we can see it, the 818. So Prism, Jeff Jones, Dan Burkett. We'll throw some fresh tires underneath that vehicle. So it'll be Jones and Burkett in the finals. This should be a fun one to watch. But now a little lull here because Jeff is going to need to throw some fresh rubber out back. So, yeah, and again, so let's take a look at how we got here. So Burkett versus Jones in the finals. Diego gets third place. Again, all this is dictating where they are in our 32 bracket on Saturday's main event, the Type S Round 2 here, presented by AutoZone. So when we come back, we will see our finals. And again, that is Radical Dan Burkett, our Type S Road to the Championship, presented by AutoZone. Jeff Jones, Dan Burkett, the finals in our seeding bracket, brought to you by K&N, the official performance air filter of Formula Drift.
Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or Monster Jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen in any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all he needs. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to the Link ECU.
So we took the hood off to sling it by that, to pick it up, and then just drop the hood off over at Beecham's support cart here. Yeah, let's do the same thing as the last one. Yeah, let's sling this and just take the hood off. You want to hold this side of the hood up? Okay, watch yourself, and hold. Okay, she was pretty. There's the oil. Grab it with ease. Got it. All right. Give me that tool.
235.
Y'all killed it. Feddy was clear. Got to be down that way. Did he go back? Are you guys done? Are you calling it or what? Yeah, but that here is where you do your work. Are you out? Because you're here.
I'm here because, wait, what's going on? I have 10 minutes to repair it. It's not okay here.
Hot pit, like always, man.
Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry. What do I have to do?
Straighten her up and
gotta drive to the start line.
No, you gotta do a
I have to drift? I have to drift. I don't have to do a zero. I cannot do a zero run or something like that. Otherwise,
this is what we explained yesterday. Non-judge qualifying lap. You cannot zero if you're by yourself. All right, let's get a jack stand underneath it.
Here, careful to not burn yourself.
Can you just lengthen the upper arm?
What do you mean?
The weld on this top number. Oh, no, I see it. It's crushed.
We advanced to top 32.
Right, but you can't continue. Yeah, exactly what I said.
Why I can't continue? Because I don't do the lap.
Correct, sir. Yeah, you have tons of toe out, dude, tons. I can't let you go with that much toe out. So fix the toe out or fix the camber.
I'm gonna bring the fact that I'm just gonna win from now on. You understand? And I was starting right now. He had a different plan for me. His throttle cable had a different plan.
I'd keep going. You probably got another. You got another 1/4 inch of thread?
Yes.
Use it. My hand, man. Go. Up. Ready? Up. Okay, all right.
I didn't even know. Like, I saw him hit. I was like, I tried to 50, but then they come in with the left rear tire on.
Yeah.
We're back, baby, as I hear it in my head and you hear it in yours now. So our finals are set as we're looking at Dan Burkett and Jeff Jones. That's right. And again, this is all going to indicate where they land, where the pieces fall, where the cars fall, where they may, as far as seating our K&N seating bracket finals. Jones and Burkett, Nissan versus Toyota. Well, the Nissan's got obviously a V8 under the hood, and the Mark IV. He is tried and true. This gentleman loves Supras. I think he's just collects them like Hot Wheels. So rad Dan Burkett. All right, Jeff Jones will lead. Dan will give chase. The lights are on. Once they extinguish, we're ready to send it. All right, who's coming out on top? Who's got the bragging rights here tonight under the lights? Jeff Jones comes down. Evil Auto Works, Nissan 370Z. Dan Burkett gets into position, gets into that pocket. Now goes past, just barely taps that inside clip. Knocks it out of the way into that first outside zone. Now coming second, Dan Burkett making a correction. Gets swirly there, almost gets to the side of Jeff Jones. You can see that lacking that angle. Jeff Jones is, again, a big bragging rights here for him. Coming back down the hill. Dan Burkett is a little shaken up there in the horseshoe, but Jeff Jones hammers it. Well done by Jones.
Yeah, a little squirrely Dan there. Little squirrely Dan the chase.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, Jeff Jones out front. Initiation there, not a ton of angle coming through it. It was safe. It was well put together. And then we see Dan in the chase there, trying to get the car pushed in a little bit more, a little bit too much angle, not enough angle, straightening it out, pushing the car around, just not getting the fluidity. Whereas Jeff Jones out front doesn't hesitate, understands what's going on, and just gets through the run. I mean, it was a really, really solid run from Jeff Jones, and I think Rad Dan just had a bit of a flub there, even starting back at initiation, just kind of chasing it after that. And that's, once you start feeling like you're behind, once you start feeling like you're making some mistakes, then you're just making more mistakes trying to fix the first one.
Well, you said it earlier too, is once you get thrown off of that, it's just a chain reaction of these mistakes where you're thrown off here, then it throws off there, and then it just compounds, right? Yeah. So that's what happened with Dan.
You can clean it up in the keyhole. Like, that's the one great thing about Atlanta is, like, you've got this almost compression zone where things slow down. You can calm down a little bit. You can cut a ton of line in there, and then get your car resettled and at least get the next couple of zones and be in a good spot. So.
All right, so Jeff Jones, in my mind, has an advantage here. Dan Burkett, he needs to put down a heater run. He needs to have, I would say, a rad run here. So Dan Burkett, dad jokes, dad bod, dad life. That's what we do, right, Jacob? All right, here we go. So Rad Dan Burkett, he is leading that Rad Industries Mark IV Toyota Supra. Now coming down the hill, you can see him on the brakes and the progression now into that inside clip. Jeff taps it once again. I think Jeff is he might play this a little strategy-wise, play it safe. He knows that, Dan Burkett's got an uphill battle here, but just as I say that ain't safe. That's risking it for the biscuit, baby. Evil Auto Works, big drift energy. Jeff Jones, one more clip for glory, and I gotta assume that the needle is gonna go the way of Jeff Jones in that Evil Auto Works Nissan 370Z, given the mistakes that Dan had on that first run.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Jeff had a really solid chase there. Rad Dan up front was a solid run. There was some room for improvement. I mean, I like the initiation here. Pretty late to get back on the throttle, a little bit hesitant. This raised angle coming up here looks really nice and smooth, as you can see. Just nice and slow, pushes the car out. But then Jeff, as you said, could have been subtle, could have been laid back, but nope, he decides to start diving back in. Dan hits that clip pretty hard, runs a really shallow line through this section, really tight to the track. And then Jeff leaves a bit more room there. Could have been a bit better in that last section, but I think because of how tight Dan was to the inside of the track, there was almost impossible for him to do that. So, yeah, I feel like I know what the decision is, unless there's something I'm missing here, but I'm seeing the judges already standing, so they've got their calls in. Great job from both these drivers. Awesome to see Jeff fighting his way through this, doing really well in the seating bracket. Great to see Dan, fighting and coming back and coming back into his own. And then obviously Higa, who's going to be taking our third place. Just same thing, coming into his own. That's what this is, a big coming out party, if you will.
It's momentum. Yeah. But it's momentum. This tonight is going to build momentum for tomorrow, or for Saturday. We keep saying that. But tomorrow is all about Pro Spec. Saturday's about Pro. Round 2 of the Pro Championship. Round 1 of the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. So definitely really, really cool. And we will announce 3, 2, 1. And joining us down there and joining us here on the ground is Sarah Reardon. Sarah Reardon works with US Drift, a Pro-Am sanctioning body here. But let's announce our winners first, and Sarah will have some words with our winner. So again, let's make some noise. Finishing third place here, coming to us from Brazil, Diego Higa. Diego Higa getting it done for his country. Congratulations to him. And now the winner. As both them step out of their vehicle, wait till they take off their helmets. Your winner, and then you will know who gets second place here. K&N seating brackets. K&N, the official performance air filter of Formula Drift. Your winner here, seating brackets, again, indicates and dictates how the brackets are set on Saturday's game day. Your winner here in our seating brackets is Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones gets the win. There is second place for the Rad Industry Sun X Tool GT Radio Mark IV Supra, Rad Dan Burkett. There's your podium here for our K&N seating brackets. All killer, no filler. It's all about head-to-head. So with that being said, I throw it down to Sarah Reardon, who, Sarah, again, has some words with our winner, Jeff Jones. Big drift energy. Sarah, down to you.
Thank you so much, Jared. Let's talk to our winner here first, Jeff Jones. You came out on an absolute heater. Did you have something to prove at Atlanta here tonight?
Oh my God, I just wanted to come have some fun with the boys. This is Atlanta. It's my favorite track, my favorite people, it's the favorite atmosphere. I've had some good luck here. I've run in Pro 2 here. I've gotten fourth here in Pro. And you know, I was going up with Dan, Litteral, you know, Rudy, Hansen, drive some hot pits. So that was super fun. Like, I just time with the boys, and those are some of the funnest things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. In second place here, we have Dan Burkett. Dan, you were looking absolutely dialed in the comp tonight. You did have a time out, but what was going on with that?
Off the rim, behind Kyle, I got like too close and couldn't transition and hit the front of the strip. Broken wheel, but I could tell, so I was like, we gotta switch that. And then the GTs are hooked up and I can just get on it and the car goes.
Do you think the timeout affected you at all?
Oh no, we're just here to have fun and Climax tools are keeping the car together on the track, and I'm just trying to get a better parking space in the pits, you know?
Hey, you heard him. Give him that better parking spot. Thank you so much. All right, and finally, third place here, Diego Higa. You were our first seed for competition tonight. Did you have any strategy for the comp, or were you just sending it?
I know I have a strategy for loss, but I'm so excited for tomorrow. My car now 100%, and let's go tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That's great news. Give it up for all three of our drivers. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Thank you so much, Sarah Reardon. And again, congratulations. Jeff Jones, Dan Burkett, Diego Higa, and just a truly international affair. And guess what? Tomorrow, live, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time for our Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship Round 1. So taking a look at the bracket, you can check the bracket for Pro on Saturday. Again, unofficial. We'll make sure everything lines up. But look at that, Jeff. This is a big confidence booster for him. Jacob, your thoughts here on brackets?
Man, I love this. The more we do the seating bracket, the more happy I am. And I've already started putting together the bracket, what it's going to look like on Saturday. It's going to be wild. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as well. Check out Pro Spec. I got the day off, so I'm just going to
that's right.
I'm just going to go hang out in the pits. I'm going to go bug some people, get some inside info.
That's great. Please do that.
I will. I'll be there. And I'm just looking forward to Saturday, man. It's going to be wild.
All right. Well, thank you, Jacob Gittins. He's be getting it as we are. Again, thank you so much for joining us here for our K&N knockout qualifying and our K&N seating brackets. So there it is. Thank you so much. With that, we bid you adieu. We'll see you tomorrow for our Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship Round 1 here at the iconic Road Atlanta Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. Send it. We'll see you online and we'll see you another time.